Welcome, everybody. This is Mike Leahy, and our session today is entitled 5 Ways to Stay on Target When Your Macola Staff is Working from Home. And I have Ann Hayner on the line helping me today. Unfortunately, I don't have Ann's photo here, but this is my photo here. We can all shake hands over the phone and stay safe. This is just a little bit of background about our company. We've been in business forever. We have been Macola experts or had affiliations and worked with Macola forever. We specialize in manufacturing and distribution. We're located in Cincinnati, Ohio, right on the river, and we have 12 employees. And just a little bit of background of us. These are the things that we do best: streamlining your Macola workflow, and that fills right into what we're going to talk about today, making better use of your Macola investment. A lot of people have a lot of money tied up in Macola, and there's opportunities to make better use of your investment. We also do a lot of custom programming, and we are one of the leading add-on developers, one of the third-party developers of add-on software for Macola to make that product a better experience and streamline your operation with it. So just a little bit of background of who we are. Okay, we're going to talk today about our 5 ways to stay on target when your staff is working from home. And the first one is making sure that your remote access systems have it says here, have the capacity, speed, and the security you need. So I want to talk just a little bit at the beginning about Macola Progression versus Macola 10. On Macola Progression, you have a shortcut on your desktop and it points to the server, and you're running it on it's basically running on the server. With Macola 10, it's a different story. And Macola ES, you're actually running the software on your computer or your laptop. So what we have found is if you just simply take your laptop home and try to run Macola ES or 10 from home, it's going to be very, very slow. But more importantly, the way that you are accessing it across the web, in other words, you are running each transaction across the internet. The internet is getting pretty heavily used recently, and especially, we basically are saying avoid running posting programs during peak times of the day, because if your laptop loses its connection with the internet, then you'll have a big mess on your hands to unravel. It'll be a partially posted batch. Other things to think about, the bad guys out there who are trying to break into your system and mine, this is a great opportunity. If you're not using a VPN, you're opening yourself up to some potential damage. But this is a real technical area, and I have John Clark's photo here. If you'd like, he's our expert. So the idea would be that if you're unsure about how you have things set up, just give us a call. Just give us a call, and then we can talk details there. The second thing we want to talk about, cash flow. In these uncertain times, cash flow is going to become extremely important to track hour by hour, day by day. And in our dashboard software, we have what we call our Smart Cash Flow Forecast. And it's part of the dashboard financial module. One of the unique things about it is it doesn't calculate accounts receivable cash flow based on your terms code or your due date on the invoice, because as you know, customers don't pay based on a due date. They have their own way. So we calculate that customer by customer on average days to pay. And we'll show you that in a moment. And you can have up to 16 weeks or months of forecast. And for those of you who are not using that module or don't have that module licensed, or maybe aren't even using Dashboard at this moment, we are offering a 20-day trial for new users at no cost. And this is, we're all in this together. And the idea is that if we can help people improve their operation while this pandemic and business slowdown is happening, that'll be great. This is an example of the cash flow forecast, and I'm going to show you the software in a moment in Macola. I have Monty Guy's picture here. If you're a Macola Pulse user, Pulse Dashboard user, you're familiar with Monty. He heads up our support desk. If not, you can introduce yourself to him, but he's the one that will set this up. So I'm going to go over now. This is the cash flow forecast. And one of the other unique things about this, if you notice that in addition to having normal sources and uses of cash, we have included additional cash flow items that are not in Macola. In this case, payroll items, loan payments, monthly profit distributions. You can have as many as you want. As you would expect with normal kind of dashboard, you can just single click and drill down and see the underlying detail. So we want to make sure that, and in this particular case, I'm going out, 12 weeks, and the idea being that for each of them you can drill down. I should mention, if you're using this currently, we're finding that in the accounts payable area and in the purchasing area, if you have not been reconciling your received but not invoiced on an ongoing basis, if you have not closed purchase orders properly, timely, then some of these numbers will be overstated and you'll have a bit of work to do. But we have some white papers on how to clean up your purchase orders and close them in mass. So this is our cash flow forecast. This is going to be an excellent tool for any small, medium-sized business that needs to do this. And I'll refresh this right now for those of you who aren't familiar with the speed of dashboard. Right there, 1.5, maybe 2 seconds at the most to refresh this. Okay, so we're going to go back to our screen here. Okay, the third item that we want to talk about is automating manual processes to increase productivity and eliminate errors. And I put in parentheses there, no more manual keying. And so this is covering 3 products of ours: the Pulse e-commerce product, the purchase order generator product, and the Pulse lockbox. The Pulse e-commerce product is designed to import customer orders. Okay, we're importing customer orders that may be from your e-commerce website, that may be from Amazon, it may be from Yahoo, any place. And the idea is that there's no rekeying. Is totally eliminated, and it shows you if there are any errors that are coming in. I'll show you that in a moment. The purchase order generator is another one. No more manual keying of purchase orders. And based on your unique company rules, it generates orders just right at the right time. Not too early, not too late. In Pulse Lockbox, this is where we're automating payments coming into Macola. Now, those payments may be from your bank lockbox coming in from customers. They may be downloaded from Amazon. They may be ACH payments. They may be credit card payments. They may be wire transfers. We handle all of that. So just to demonstrate on the e-commerce side first, in this particular case, I've imported these orders. All of these orders took about 2 seconds to import. And I purposely showed you what happens when you have an error, when there's something that doesn't match, because our software is not just pushing data into Macola, it's validating as it's going along. So if there's a red one, it just simply says, okay, I need to take a look at it. In this case, the website had the products misspelled. So I just simply click on here, and it allows me now to see my I'll put in the word data here. You see it's not BUSS, it's just bus. So that fixed that. And the idea being that this product, there was no quantity that came in. So I may have to check that and figure out what the case is. So the idea is that you can fix things on the screen. You can change anything that you want to. If I needed to and I just didn't know what to do, I could actually eliminate these 2 bad lines here just by hitting this minus sign and so on. And at this point, now I can just push the order directly into Macola. But the idea is that people like to validate and see the orders before they're pushed in. Let me take a quick look at Pulse Lockbox. The same thing here. I purposely created demonstration data showing you that what happens when there are errors. And if we hover over the error here, it says that this is a duplicate invoice number, which means that the customer, believe it or not, actually paid the invoice twice. Down below, we have the same thing, a duplicate invoice. So all I need to do is hit the plus sign, and what it shows me then is the items that are below, or the items that are made up on that. Let me click one that's clean and just it's able to see it better. So here we have a situation. This is one remittance. It's paying for 3 invoices. We handle situations where there are underpayments, overpayments, multiple reasons. If you're using this with Amazon or with any of the e-commerce sites, there'll be different fees. And we have a new feature that we're coming out with that allows you to track the fees. So for example, this is one check. Macola only allows you to handle one allowance amount, but maybe you might have 3 or 4 fees for this order coming from Amazon, and we're going to be able to track that. In our lockbox software, I click on this. We're going to look at the Pulse PO generator software. So I'm going to click on the PO generator. Now let's make believe that I am Penny and I am the buyer for the Cincinnati location. So I've specified that, and I click on the refresh button here. And what it's going to do, it's going to show me based on my rules, again, not too early, not too late. It's going to show me these are all the vendors that Penny needs to deal with today. So I'm going to take this example, this ABC Fasteners in Seattle. Now, again, based on your rules, this recommended order quantity is based on a combination of your reorder levels, your safety stock level, the PO lead time, the order multiple, so on and so on. And if you choose to, you could override this and change this. But rather than key in things one by one, I'm just simply going to say, okay. I may change some of these quantities. I may skip this item for some reason. And all of these fields that are up here are showing me, for example, this is my 3, 6, and 12-month usage trend. The last time I bought it, maybe my min and max quantities. But when I'm all done with this, I just simply click on the Generate PO button, and what's going to happen in a second is here is the purchase order. Now I have broken some rules here. It's saying if I hover over this, I have to buy this in minimum quantities of 2,000. So I'll change that. And I'll go down to the next one. You can see it went from yellow to white. So the same thing on the next one. This has a 2,000 also. I think that's the same with this one, 2,000. Let's see what the deal is with this one down here. The same thing, I'm supposed to buy it in quantities of 60, increments of 60. Okay, so now the order's ready to be pushed in. Maybe at the last minute, I even decide to change the vendor. So I want to show you this total flexibility in terms of the products. If I decide at the last minute to remove this product, I can eliminate, or I can even add a new product to this. I can push it into Macola as either being a released purchase order or an unreleased purchase order. But when I'm all through with this, I hit the save button. And then when I come back to this, these items will have disappeared off the list. And then I can go on to my next order. So again, this is based on the rules. So there's a little bit of setup for this. It's based on the rules of your unique environment, your unique company, again, based on min-maxes, order multiples, and purchasing lead time. So we'll go back to our slide here. So again, what we were talking about before was no more manual keying. And the big thing is eliminating errors. I can give you an example. We have a customer who does work with JCPenney's, and they get orders, and the order will have 500 line items on it. So imagine having to key that order in. With our software, you know, it took 30 seconds, and it was pushed into Macola with absolutely no errors. Okay, so let's talk about our next area. Okay. the Macola database is excellent. The layout of the database is excellent, but with all ERP software, if you've used it day after day after day for years and years and years, things are going to happen to it. It's like a car. It just doesn't continue operating at full capacity as you push more and more data in it, and as you have the power goes off, things get posted incorrectly, there's data integrity. So what we're doing is we have a new service called Pulse System Pro. It's our comprehensive 96-point Macola service, and it's designed to optimize your SQL database. It's designed to eliminate data corruption, and there's also a data cleanup process. And the idea of this is that your Macola software will now run like new. And John Clark is our consultant who works in that area. But maybe to get ready for this, let me show you something in our dashboard. If you don't have these screens, you can call, and these are no-cost screens. So this is what we call our data integrity screen. So here in purchasing, this is purchase orders with no line records, purchase orders with no header records. These are killers. These are especially purchase orders, line records that have no head. This is what stops your Macola from running. This is what gives you these bizarre error messages. In the inventory area, the same thing. Bills of material where the parent item is no longer on file. And you would say, how can that possibly happen? How can I have a bill of material? It shows all the components, but there's no parent item. Well, that's what happens occasionally after years and years. This is components that are not in the item master. Here's a situation over here where we have items with invalid product categories. So we've developed over the past year a lot of these, what we call query analyzer reports that are designed to assist you in all areas in helping to clean up the data. Okay. Pulse Archive, I didn't mention that before. Pulse Archive is an integral part of this. We developed the Pulse Archive software about 10 years ago, and what it does, nobody wants to purge data anymore because they're afraid that, oh, I may need that sometime in the future. The accounting department may need it. I may need to look up an old purchase order from 10 years ago. Who knows? The auditors may ask for data. So rather than purge data, we use the concept of archiving it. So we create a secondary Macola database. We start off by making an exact duplicate of your database, and then we start archiving from there. But the unique thing about it, and what people really like, is the ability to decide, okay, I want to keep 5 years worth of sales data. I want to keep 2 years worth of purchasing data. I want to keep 3.5 years of production data. So you decide basically each of the components of Macola, how many months you want to maintain that data. Then every month when you run the software, it just archives, it doesn't purge, it just archives the data that is in excess of the number of months that you have specified. And we even have a discount where if you buy the archive software along with the System Pro, I think there's a $1,000 discount. But the idea is that your Macola software now is going to run like new. Okay, let's talk about the last part. This is, again, our theme is 5 ways to stay on target when your staff is working from home. The Pulse dashboard software really connects everybody. A lot of people call it the one source of truth, the one source of the truth. The idea being that everyone in the company is looking at a common set of screens that shows sales or shows margin analysis or shows production backlog or customer late shipments. And the idea then is that Pulse Dashboard, everybody would have access to it, and it connects your team. So what we say here, connects your team with powerful analytics. So Pulse Dashboard is not a do-it-yourself dashboard. You literally can be installing it in the morning with your data and be looking at your data in dashboard the same day in the afternoon. So the idea is that well, first of all, everything is real time, and then all of the reports in it are pre-built. So the idea is that this is not a do-it-yourself dashboard where you're going to take weeks and months and then everybody will have maybe made some mistakes and the data won't be right. So the idea is that people have gone, thousands of people have gone before you. Everything has been tested. But the idea is that it's going to minimize custom reports. It's going to pinpoint shortages. A lot of people are very focused on two areas, shortages for shipping. In other words, I committed to a customer, I would ship this product on this day, and the product is not available. And then going back one step in the supply chain into your manufacturing, we are pinpointing shortages, maybe over the next 5 days or the next 10 or 20 days, that will prevent you from manufacturing on time and thus shipping on time. We also have developed a number of advanced concepts that are not in the standard Macola software. So the idea is, during these stressful times, for as little as $400 a month, we have a subscription program for as little as $400 a month. You get all the Pulse standard modules for 5 users. And if this is not the software for you, then you can cancel at any time. And I've included Terry Lanham's email address, and he will be happy to provide you with a written quote. But there was a few things that I wanted to show you in our dashboard. Just a real quick summary, just to show you the power of dashboard. This is one particular screen I want to look at, customer orders. It shows me orders that were entered, orders that were invoiced, orders that are open orders, my backlog, month to date versus budget, year to date versus budget, the same month in the prior year, year to date for the prior year, and total for the prior year. So whenever I hover over something, I can just simply single click and it drills down to show the underlying detail. I'll just do that again. I'm just going to single click. So at this point, you know that anytime you click on something, you can drill down, you can see the underlying detail. Everything is exportable to Excel. Everything is printable. Everything is PDFable. Everything is emailable. But what people really like about the software is you can start moving the columns around however you want to. This doesn't affect anybody. I can click on a column heading and it will sort it down, ascending or descending. So let's say I want to look at customer orders descending from the top. Okay, but maybe I'm the sales manager and I like to look at things by state. So here's a report. I don't want to have to go to the IT people and ask them. So I just click right here. We have converted all the data fields in Macola to Business English, and I just simply type in state. And I just double click on the customer state. I've added it to my list. I say, okay. Here is the state. I'm going to put it over here. Now, the next time that I come into this screen, the state will be there. Maybe nobody else in the company wants the state, and I'm the only one. So the idea being that, again, I can drill down. I can see the underlying detail. Everything is exportable. Everything is PDFable, emailable, printable. Plus, I have the ability, like there's nobody who's listening to this video or listening to this presentation that can't go here, put in the word state, add the state, and then drag it over. So the idea is that you can make changes to your own report. Now, let's say that you're not the right person to be making these kind of changes. Well, we have the ability in the software where some people in the company can publish it. So maybe you have a coworker that likes doing this and they can make this change and publish it to you. You can also pre-store different ways. So maybe I don't want to look at it by customer. I want to look at it instead by item number. Now, one of the things you're probably noticing on here is that the margins, the margin percent and the margin dollar, these are prevalent numbers in dashboard. Okay, just to take this one step further in the inventory area, I'll take a look at this. This is just a generic stock status report. And so what we've done to enhance the Macola product is we have added a lot of functionality. The Macola database is excellent, but it's missing a few things. It's missing inventory turns. It's missing months on hand. it's missing a trend. So we've added a 3, 6, and 12-month average or total usage, date of last usage, date of last inventory activity, date of last purchase, date of last manufacturing, date of last sale. All of these fields that are in the cream color, these are fields that we've added to the software to enhance it that are not available in the standard software. So these fields, I'm just showing you this inventory status screen, but these fields are accessible in all of the information that's in Pulse. So now all of your inventory analysis screens or your reordering advice screens or your PO generator screens, they have access to all of this data. We've also enhanced the purchasing area. So I'm going to look over here to our buying history by vendor. And rather than drill down, these are two side-by-side screens. So I just click on here, this ABC Fasteners in Queens. I click on the Chicago Box Company, and I can see exactly what I purchased from them. Or I might want to do it instead by item number. So these are some things that maybe if you've used the software for a while, you're not familiar with this new functionality. This is what we're using it's what's called our advanced screen designer. So it just kind of goes on and on. We're very driven by customer requests. So a customer came to us and wanted to add some purchasing KPIs. They wanted to be able to show a purchase price variance, favorable or unfavorable. They wanted to be able to look at what you received over this period of time, and so on and so on. So those are some examples of how our Pulse dashboard will bring the team together. Again, this one source of the truth for $400 a month. So there's a lot going on in the economy. There's a lot going on with the virus. Everybody's quarantined. Everybody's working at home. So if we've tried to show you the products that we have, the services that we have that will make life easier, allow you to spring back stronger when this blows over. So if anybody has any questions about this, I provided Terry Lanham's email address down here, tlanham@Leahy Consulting, or you can give any of us a phone call and we'd be happy to help you. So thanks very much for joining us today, and look forward to working with you. Thanks. Bye-bye.